going to take your AR-15, your AK-47. We're not going to allow it to be used against our fellow Americans anymore. Hell yes, hell yes, hell yes. We're going to take your AR-15. Hell yes, your AK-47. Hell yes, we're going to take your AR-15.
Oh, hell no.
Hell yes, we're not going to allow it to be used against our fellow Americans anymore.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to the Prepared Mind channel. Why did 1776 happen? It didn't all happen in 1776. We're coming up on our Independence Day, which we celebrate every year on July 4th, commemorating the signing of the Declaration of Independence, which was done on July 4th, 1776. That day commenced the American Revolution against tyranny, against someone who was king, who claimed to have all the power. Okay. It's very easy to see what happened, but what followed was years of conflict and fighting, SHTF, hardships, terror, suffering, and sacrifice. It wasn't until 1789 that we got the Constitution. Prior to that, we had the Articles of Confederation, which was a form of government that was chosen, decided that, well, the national government just wasn't quite powerful enough. So they ended up going with a new one, a new Constitution. Now, folks, prior to 1776, it wasn't roses and happiness and everything. It was years and even decades of an increasing, ratcheting level of government tyranny. We're in that process now. Somewhere in that process is where we're at. Do we need to have a 1776 revolution? Do we need to have a declaration moment? Some people think, yeah, we actually do. Other people say, no, we can do this. We can handle this. We can fix our country. I am leaning more and more to the conclusion that we can't fix it, because the difference between people who want freedom and people who want authoritarian government, that's a very wide gap. Those on the left, the socialists, want authoritarian government as long as it serves them. Now, we want freedom, and the leftists are saying that's authoritarian, that's bad. It's to me, it's stunning that these people can't see what's in store for them. But be that as it may, some people are happy wearing the chains of slavery, as long as they think it serves them, right? Now, let's fast forward a little bit and move into more modern times. Hitler started in the early 1920s. He came to power about a decade later, and then it took a couple of years, and he was the supreme power in Germany. That's when they proclaimed the Third Reich, the 1,000-year Reich. They claimed that was, it was theirs to have. So where are we at now? Someplace very similar. One moment. There we go. Now, Joseph Biden's director of the National Economic Council told us exactly where they're at in their head, because he was telling Americans who can't afford high gas prices, too bad. Too bad. That's what he was telling them. Joe Biden, basically the same thing. Gas prices are here to stay. So CNN host Victor Blackwell asks Brian Deese, who is the director of National Economic Council. He says, what do you say to those families that say, listen, we can't afford to pay $4.85 a gallon for months, if not years? Well, Brian Deese, who is Joe Biden's director of the National Economic Council, he said, and wait for it, listen very carefully, this is about the future of the liberal world order, and we have to stand firm. Okay, it's not just the new world order, it's the liberal world order. Now, did he say that to trigger a bunch of right-wing conspiracy theorists? I don't think he has to. I think that he said this because that's what he meant to say. That's what he meant to say. The liberal world order, folks. What does that mean exactly? Well, liberalism is about government making all the decisions for you. Liberalism is about rights becoming mere privileges. This is where they're going. This is what they want. And now notice he didn't say liberal American order. He said liberal world order. Okay, that has some serious connotations. Now, like 1776 and the years preceding it, America was under siege. Similar to how nations around the world are being sanctioned by the European Union and the United States. That's right, folks. The European Union sanctions people too. Now, prior to 1776, the people of the United States were being sanctioned, blockaded, overtaxed, punished as a way to try and control them and make them accept King George's world order. And at the time, folks, yes, King George of England was the greatest king on the planet. The sun never set on the British Empire. So what did he do? He blockaded America. You want to resist America? You want to complain? You want to cause problems? Blockaded, overtaxed, cause prices, the cost of everything to go up, difficulty in life to go up. And do you think King George gave a shit? Right? Parliament, they did not stop him. No. I know some members of British Parliament were not for this, but many or most were. The barristers or judges in England, they don't have the same power that we would have hoped them to have, and so they didn't say anything because it's the king. Well, food rationing happened back then, folks. And rationing has now started in Europe. That's right, folks. Food and energy rationing have started in Europe as the entire globe, the entire planet, is taking large steps into an economic disaster. Economic disaster. This disaster was not caused by Putin. It was not caused by NATO pissing off Putin and Ukraine. It was caused years ago. And we're now seeing the evidence of it. How do we put it? Right. The development and evolution of the consequences of the banking system, and then the worldwide cerveza bug. And now we're starting to see nations entering into conflict over this. Now, Europeans, are they like Americans? No, I think they're a little more aggravated than we are. I think they're further down the road to hardship than we are. So they're yelling a little more. They're screaming a little more, right? They're having a harder time of it. In Holland, the farmers there are absolutely irate over the restrictions on farming. right? No more nitrogen. They're trying to shut things down. Well, they're not liking that at all, right? They are going to block the border between Holland and Germany. Sounds a little like, well, what was going on up in Canada. Sounds a lot like what we were trying to do in America. And this is just started. They're like, well, you want to screw us? Well, we're going to blockade you. I think the people are going to be more than willing, in my opinion, around the globe to step up and have another 1776 moment. I wanted to give you some good news while giving you the bad news. The people of the world are ready to say no more. The people of the world are rejecting the liberal world order because that's what it is for us. While the elites keep their money, their power, their corporations, and their control, we, the people, are going to get socialism, shortages, rationing, and totalitarian rules. All the signs point that way. Why did 1776 happen? Because the people finally had enough, and they stood up for themselves, and they fought back. They announced their intentions. Perhaps this time it won't be on a piece of paper. Perhaps this next time it'll be an internet petition where the people, not through their elected representatives who can't all get in horses and buggies and go to Washington, New York, Philadelphia. Instead, they all log on and say, it's over. We want a new form of government. That can happen in England, it can happen in the Netherlands, it can happen in Germany, and it can happen here in the United States of America. The people can say, we've had enough. And much like the Declaration of Independence, the original, the petition that can be signed by everyone and anyone, right? We'll have a list of grievances which condemn the government for its violation of our God-given inalienable rights. I think that day is coming. And I don't say that with glee because I know it will make things worse. I say that because the human spirit is so strong that it yearns for freedom. And we're getting to that point, folks. We got more coming. We've got Friday Free for All today. We've got on July 3rd, which is Sunday, Sunday Night Live, and then our nation's birth. Under the Declaration of Independence, we'll celebrate Monday night. Chance favors the prepared mind. Aren't you glad you're a prepper? Semper Fi means always faithful. Always faithful to the Declaration of Independence. And God bless America.